Salute. Real shit.
Hey, what's up, guys? How we doing? Today we're going to talk a little bit about long hop throws from the outfield. Now, long hop throws can happen by outfielders and by infielders, but they probably happen a little bit more frequently with outfielders. And because I've been getting a lot of questions about outfield work, I wanted to just focus on what it looks like from an outfielder's perspective throwing a long hop to any base. But right now we're going to look at the home plate. But the technique behind it is very similar to every single base. So the first thing is, what exactly is a long hop? A long hop, all it is when we're throwing a ball to a base, we're going to throw it so that we're not going to throw it straight through in the air, but we're going to have, usually what we would like to have is one long bounce. So the ball is going to bounce one time and be caught by wherever we're throwing it, whether it's home plate, by the catcher, or to a base. We want to have that long bounce so that it's a nice, easy, receivable ball for whoever's catching it so they can catch the ball and apply the tag. Now, why do we throw a long hop and not just try to air it out and throw it in the air every time? Well, the first thing is it keeps the ball down, so it gives us the possibility of cutting the ball off and redirecting it to another base, or cutting it off and throwing the ball to the base that we're intending it to go originally. If we try to throw the ball all the time straight through, especially if we're in the outfield and we're trying to throw the ball home, most big league players can't even reach the plate in the air, but especially younger players, they can't reach the plate in the air. So what do they try to do? They try to put a ton of air under the ball. It takes longer for the ball to get there, but also if there's men on base or the batter runner just hits the ball, if the ball's nowhere near the cutoff man, then we might not only get the guy out, not get the guy out at home plate, but now the base runner, as he rounds first and sees the ball is thrown so high, he's just going to take second base. So we're giving too many free bases away. So by keeping the ball low and throwing a long hop, the ball is going to be able to cut off, so the runner will not try to get an extra base, because there's always the possibility of cutting the ball off. And then if the catcher sees that the runner's going to make it home safely, he's just going to yell, cut, cut, cut. We cut the ball, and now we only have a man on first base. We keep the double play in order. The second reason why we do it is because it gives the receiver a nice hop to catch the ball and apply the tag. It stays away from the short hop, which is very tough. It handcuffs a lot of guys, very tough to securely catch the ball and apply the tag. But also, we won't have as many throws over our fielder's heads, so we're not going to see a lot of balls, an outfielder throwing the second base, trying to throw it all the way and throws it way over the second baseman's head or the shortstop's head, whoever's covering second base. We'll at least have the chance to block the ball if it's a short hop. When guys throw it too high, there's nothing we can do. The ball's automatically over our head, and if we don't have a backup man, again, we're giving another free base, so we want to stay away from that. There will be times when we're going to throw the ball all the way. On a do-or-die type play late in the ball game, we need to throw the guy out at home. If we don't, the game's over. Then we're going to throw the ball all the way and not worry about the cut. And then also sometimes there's going to be plays that maybe a really shallow ball that's hit, we might not need to keep the ball down. We might be so close to the base that we're just going to fire it all the way there. And again, it all depends on your arm strength. If you're a guy that has a great arm, well, then maybe you can throw a ball low and get it there in the air. But more often than not, you're going to see a long hop. And if you watch Major League games on TV, the long hop is something that's used all the time by outfielders. So just take a look and watch and see the throws. Here are some of the outfielders in the big leagues that have some of the strongest arms in the world, and they're still using a long hop. So just to keep that in mind. Next, let's go on to how we can work on our long hops. Well, if you get there early before a major league game or a minor league game, what you're going to see is outfielders are always working on throwing long hops before the game. And what usually happens is what we do, a coach will get out there early, and just like infielders take their ground balls early and make their throws, the same thing for outfielders. So they'll get to their position usually one at a time, and a coach will hit a balls at them to their right, to their left, and they'll work on getting around the ball, picking the ball up, and throwing a long hop. To usually we'll do it to second base, but there are times before games where you can work on throwing it to third, or even throwing it home. So make sure that you're always working on it, and it's one of those things where it's really a feel thing. So once you get a good feel for what a long hop feels like out of your hand, it's going to become second nature, and you'll be able to do it as much as you want. Early on, you might not have a feel because usually younger guys don't work on long hops, and all they work on is throwing the ball as far and as hard and as high as they can to get it there. So it's going to feel awkward to throw a long hop at first, but once you do it enough, you'll get a feel for it. Another way that you can practice is before games, when you're just warming up and you're playing catch with your partner. Well, once you get out to a certain distance where we're getting pretty far away from each other, we can work on our long hop and just go through 10 or so throws and just get that feel for what it feels like to throw a long hop. So now that I've talked long enough, let's look at a long hop in action. Here's Brett Gardner, ball down the left field line. He's going to come over and make the play, and let's go through it and see what it looks like. So here he comes. Very tough play, moving hard to the line. He has to square up and throw the ball home. And you can see how impressive. He didn't have much time here, but still, ball's a little high, but it's low enough that runners aren't going to be able to tell if it's this low. And for how tough of a play that was, where he had to come to the line as hard as he could, catch it, spin, and throw, that's still pretty impressive. And you're going to see, even though the ball is in the line a little bit, it's going to take a nice long hop, and it's a really nice receivable ball for Russell Martin to catch and apply the tag. So we get two things accomplished. We'll go back and watch it one more time. Here it is again, comes a long way, nice play. Turns his shoulders, makes the throw. So the first thing we do is we can keep any base runners from moving up to the next base because it's low enough that it looks like it could be cut. And then also we get the nice, easy receivable ball for the catcher to catch and apply the tag. And we get him at the plate. So here's a few things to keep in mind. I hope this helps. Make sure you're practicing on this stuff, especially when you get a little bit older. You get to college baseball especially. That's when you're really going to get introduced to the long hop as a play that you're always going to use and you're really going to get practicing. So if you're younger, if you're in high school and even younger than that, you might as well start now, really work on it. That way when you get there, you have a real good understanding of what it takes to make a nice long hop. So hope this helps, and we'll talk to you later.